I'm Joel Atwell, lead pastor at Grace Community Church of the Nazarene in Spring Hill, Kansas, and have been since June of 1990, 34 years now. Grace Community, the church formerly known as Spring Hill Church of the Nazarene, was planted in 1987. The founding pastor was David Crawford. David and I were contemporaries at Nazarene Theological Seminary. He was serving as both student and planting pastor. And when he graduated, he moved to France to do language study to eventually serve as a missionary in Haiti. And I moved to Spring Hill. When I think about what some of the big rocks are in our story as a church, here's a little bit of what comes to mind. We've seen a lot of growth and change through the years. But I think the hardest change we ever made as a church was about 3 or 4 years into my tenure here, when we made the decision to go from 1 service to 2. We were bursting at the seams in our tiny little building, and there was energy and enthusiasm and a great sense of community. And going to 2 services was kind of perceived as a threat to all that, like it's gonna break up our big happy family. But finally, we worked through it and pulled the trigger, and several of our board member families committed to attending both services for as long as it took to establish critical mass in both. Before long, we did establish critical mass, and it allowed us to continue growing and reaching people. It was probably the most strategic decision we ever made. Over the years, God has really helped us to develop not just a heart for lost people, but a culture that I think is both faithful to the gospel and attractive to people who do not yet know the love of Jesus and his church. 1996, we built a bigger building. It's no Taj Mahal, but it's served us well. When we built a bigger building, we continued to do 2 services, even though everybody could have easily fit into 1, but I never wanted to go through that pain again. Somewhere along the line, we changed our name to Grace Community, not only to give us a little more regional feel, but also to say, this is who we really want to be as a church, a Grace Community. I guess when I ask myself the question, what brings me the most joy when I reflect on the storied ministry of Grace Community, I'd have to say 3 things. First, the scores and scores and scores of people who through the years have said yes to Jesus and are walking with him as faithful, growing disciples. Nothing beats that. Secondly, our congregation has become one of the most outrageously generous groups of people I've ever known. That's been expressed all kinds of ways, but one of the most exciting is over the years, we've invested nearly $500,000 and 100 people in our 3 church plants, the newest of which is Eden Church. Finally, one of the things I hear from new people around here quite often is something to this effect. I'm not sure you guys know what you have here. There's a culture of authenticity that absolutely is not in every church. I love that so much, and I pray it always remains. I'm looking forward to the next 34 years.